What you got?
I want to talk about the 49ers for a sec, because there's some news regarding the 49ers and their quarterback situation. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have come out and talked about how, Brock Purdy deserves to be the number one quarterback. He'll probably go into training camp as a starter if he's healthy. If he's not healthy, Kyle Shanahan just said moments ago to Matt Mayoko of NBC Sports Bay Area that there's an opportunity for Trey Lance to start week one if Purdy's not quite ready and Trey Lance is okay, all that stuff. Yeah, great. And there's Sam Darnold waiting in the wings. Here's my question, and just explain this to me. So the San Francisco 49ers have been extremely successful throughout let's say in the Kyle Shanahan tenure. Shanahan can coach. The 49ers have put together incredible teams. There's just been this one position that they haven't quite figured out, and that's the quarterback. They've had a lot of them in the Kyle Shanahan era. So my question is this, and maybe there are logical reasons.
All right.
One of the best quarterbacks in football, Lamar Jackson, has asked to be traded. There's a chance he won't play in Baltimore this year. He doesn't want to play in Baltimore. It's clear. Like, Lamar Jackson is available. So my question would be, I get it, the price will be high. You'll have to give up a couple first-rounders. But I thought quarterback was the only position that was kind of keeping this team down. And so I'm going to start at the surface, and then we can dig below the surface. Why would the 49ers not be interested in one of the best quarterbacks in football if he's available? Why wouldn't you kick the tires? Why wouldn't you be making calls?
Oh, this is easy.
Oh.
Okay, so there's Felix and Oscar, the original odd couple, Steiny and Guru, and Lamar Jackson and his attributes, and Kyle Shanahan and what he wants from his quarterback in regard to the quarterback attributes. It's an odd couple. It's not a fit. Look, I even brought out the race card, and I apologized to Kyle because I didn't know if that was his, that was his thing, because he'd passed on Watson and Mahomes in the draft. Steiny, he likes a Kirk Cousins type of pocket presence quarterback. That is not Lamar Jackson. And I got to be careful because on one sense, I'm always defending the black quarterback. It's a sensitive subject, but I'm not a Lamar fan because I think his biggest deficiency is throwing the football. So when you and Evan say, and the boss, he's one of the best quarterbacks, I don't think Kyle and John think that. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe they are doing some digging and searching. But Lamar Jackson, okay, he had that MVP season. I cannot take anything away from him. But Steiner, you know what Garoppolo traits he had? The last 2 seasons, he's missed the last 5 games. So I just don't think, now that we talk about durability, lack of throwing the ball, to me, that's attractive to Kyle Shanahan. And what are you telling me, Steiny and 49er fans, about Trey Lance? He went and got his Lamar Jackson, I thought. So are we so sure that's over?
Well, if he went out and got a Lamar Jackson, why wouldn't this Lamar Jackson fit? If he, like Trey Lance, I mean, look, Kyle's always said he wants somebody who can throw from the pocket, but clearly he didn't think Trey Lance could last year because he never put him there.
I hate that.
The question I'm asking is just, hey, there's some practicality. 650, they want to try to take advantage of the rookie contract cap savings for as long as possible. And I assume you're talking about the quarterback position.
And don't forget Bosa.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, you would have to finagle.
Okay,
you would have to absolutely finagle, and you'd have to probably give up one of your 2 quarterbacks along with it.
Let me ask you this then. Let's just say Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, took you to the NFC Championship game. Do you think Kyle and John want to use all the resources it would take to bring in Lamar Jackson when they almost got to the promised land and didn't really get a chance to see what Brock was going to do in that game? I'm just wondering, Steiny, how attractive is that then? Because you're not operating from a place of starvation to where your quarterback's just garbage. Brock Purdy looked all the parts. So why would you go buy a Ferrari when your car's riding like one?
If the answer to the question is there's way too many obstacles, he doesn't fit the system, we don't want him. Okay, I'm asking the question. But if I close my eyes, and I look at who the 49ers have had at quarterback, Garoppolo isn't good enough for anybody.
Right.
Brock Purdy, okay.
Yeah.
How good's he going to be? We don't know. Trey Lance is an unknown. Like, you can't tell me, and I get it, they'd have to figure some stuff out. Yeah. You can't tell me that if you drop Lamar Jackson onto the San Francisco 49ers right now, they'd have to be the favorites in the NFC.
See, I still think they're that with the question mark at the quarterback position.
I don't.
Wow.
So you're putting them in a place they've never gotten to with Brock Purdy.
But what did I tell you mid-season last year as Brock was going to 6-7, 8-0? Steiny, I'm starting to feel like Kyle can do it, and I'm giving him a compliment. He can do it with anybody.
Okay.
We fought over Lamar.
Think about this for a second.
Think
about this for a sec.
Availability is the best of ability.
Think about Brock Purdy, banged up a little bit to start the season. He got 3 or 4 games with Trey Lance, and he's not good. Then
the roars.
Now all your hopes are on Brock Purdy.
Then you got Darnold. No, you're laughing, but
I am laughing.
If Brock Purdy can do what he did last year, what do you think Sam Darnold could do? Like, nothing. This is a quarterback's dream, this 49ers situation, and to be coached under the tutelage of that. That's why you say, Guru, you like him, you call him the boy wonder. This is what I'm in love with.
Who?
Is Kyle. He can take Brock Purdy out there.
He's not good enough. They're not good enough. The quarterback position has not been good enough. I mean, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, I mean, that's obvious. What has been, they have one of the best defenses in all of football. Oh, the weaponry.
But they dropped 2.
My point is that quarterback is the worst position, one of the worst positions on the team. Why, again, I'm just asking the question, why wouldn't you want to drop Lamar Jackson?
So you still think Lamar...
Well, I think he's better than Brock Purdy or Trey Lance.
Are you going to go if collusion can't be your answer? Why isn't there a line around the corner from Lamar Lemonade? Because I feel like I'm not the only one that says throwing the ball is his biggest deficiency.
What if I told you that I think Kyle Shanahan's got some Don Nelson in him? And there's a reason he doesn't want Lamar Jackson. Because Lamar Jackson would be like Don Nelson finally getting that big man. And what happens when you finally get that guy? Guess what? You're going to be the favorites. Then all the pressure is going to be on you. Kyle Shanahan, in a way, and listen, he's a great coach. I mean, I'm not saying he's not. But the reality of the situation is, as long as the 49ers have a middling type quarterback, then, I mean, why wouldn't you look to upgrade the position? Why have the 49ers come up short in 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls?
That's interesting, Steiny, and I feel like you're being unfair in this sense.
I didn't say quarterback. I'm asking a question.
Okay, all right, got you. Because Jimmy gave you a 10-point lead in L.A. We could talk. It wasn't all just the quarterback.
For the sake of this argument, today, you're not going to mention that he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders.
Oh, I told you I retired that, Jack.
Okay, well, he did.
Wow, man. But they also had a lead with 5 minutes left, and Emmanuel Mosley went the wrong way. And Tart dropped the interception in the Rams NFC Championship game 2 years ago. We got a donation on the YouTube text line from Ernie Chavez. Steinmetz, the Niners don't have the money. That's why you said they would have to move some stuff around. And Evan pointed out to us.
Evan said they could do it.
Yeah, because he's on the Evan, talk to us now.
Well, obviously it would take some financial maneuvering, but if Lamar Jackson is asking for a fully guaranteed deal, reportedly turning down one that would pay him annually $44 million, that would be the amount of money that the 49ers would have to find a way to get. Now, what it would cost, because of the non-exclusive franchise tag the Ravens placed him under, would be 2 first-round picks, the same capital that you gave up for Trey Lance, in addition to probably trading either Brock Purdy or Trey Lance, I would lean towards Trey Lance. But it would be a very heavy price financially. As far as the capital you give up, I don't think it would cost all that much, considering what you've already given up to get your quarterback.
Take that for data, Ernie. Yeah. But
510.
I don't think Kyle likes him.
Steiny always comes with the worst takes possible these
why'd
days.
you read that one? Somebody try to get under your
Just to correct the 510. I don't have a take on this. It's a question, you idiot.
Cut that.
I'm asking a question.
Right.
You guys, the 510, guys like you cry all year about Purdy and about Trey Lance,
Right.
and we're not good enough at quarterback. And so I'm saying, well, there's a pretty good one out there. Okay, you don't want him. That's fine. Okay, you don't want Lamar Jackson. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just asking a question.
And I got to add this.
But you know what? If one of the reasons the 49ers don't want Lamar Jackson is because of Kyle Shanahan,
then
that's
Nelson
a problem.
Theory. That's interesting. Well, I'll say this, Steiny, they got their Lamar. So I don't know where you're at on the Trey Lance front.
Well,
How
you
can
can't
you
say they
that
got
and sip your juice?
Well, how can you say he is Lamar?
No, I'm saying they moved mountains to get to see
but he's not. He's a third-year pick, and they have no idea what he is.
Right, so how are you going to move off
Lamar
of that
is.
so quick?
Because you have a bird in the hand, in theory. Listen, look, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm playing devil's advocate now.
I don't think they're done or giving up on Trey Lance. That's all.
But all that stuff aside,
okay.
Are the 49ers better if you drop Lamar Jackson onto their team right now? Drop Lamar Jackson on.
For the sake of this argument, because I could be an ass and say, is he going to stay healthy? But yes.
Okay, so then my question, why wouldn't they do it? Well, the price is too high. Is it really? What the hell? They gave up 2 first-round picks for a guy who didn't even play Division I college football. Lamar Jackson, he only got 1 playoff victory. I bet that changes with the Niners.
Well, yeah, this is the penthouse for quarterbacks. That's the part I hate about this argument, and the logic is if you drop anybody in here, as we saw, no shade of Brock Purdy, but man.
Every time, I don't understand, like every time, whenever a big boy comes available in the NBA, as Warrior fans, we always talk about that player and wonder if there's a way to get him. Started with Durant, but Bradley Beal. Hey, could we get Bradley Beal? Let's see who else is out there who's a big name. Can we get Jaylen Brown?
Ben Simmons when he was positive.
Ben Simmons. Can we get Ben Simmons? Can we get who else would fit? Pascal Siakam. Can we get him? Well, I think you could probably go get Lamar Jackson. You might be able to go get Lamar Jackson. That's all I'm saying. And it's funny because, and maybe it's a different, you can explain to me what's different. Like JD and I were talking the other day about, if the Warriors want to keep this thing together, maybe they're going to have to trade Poole and or Kuminga and give up some first-round picks down the line.
Okay.
And I said, boy, I just don't like the idea of not having some number ones, 3-4 years down the line without Curry. And JD was like, I'm not going to worry about that yet. Okay, so I'm going to take his approach for Lamar Jackson and say, I'm not really concerned about first-round picks in 2027 and 2029 if we know Lamar Jackson's our quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, and like we said, we don't know exactly how they feel. I believe my theory about Kyle, Lamar not being Kyle's taste, I think I'm on top of that. But if you're telling me Mr. Irrelevant took you to the NFC Championship game and got knocked out basically when the game started, I just don't see the urgency or the why in let's move some more mountains again, or finagle, because I love that word.
It's finagle.
Finagle. We say finagle in the union. But you finagle
Nobody says that.
I'm telling you, I'm from the streets. I finagled you out your bread. Take the lesson.
I want to see it in the urban
Finagle is the word.
But Merriam-Webster doesn't use finagle.
Yeah, well, it's slang. Yeah.
Well, he wasn't from the
But
union
why did I
either.
get so emotional? Well, because you was trying to give me an air early on. It's finagle. You finagle, Steiny. Listen.
Right.
I appreciate you. Listen. So if Brock Purdy were to remain upright, don't you think the Niners think that game might have changed, might have looked different? and they might have went to the Super Bowl. So I don't think they're desperate, or
okay,
I don't think
then you know what?
I don't think they're throwing the darts in. The reason we didn't win, even when we went, was because of the quarterback.
Oh, really?
That's true. Okay. Jimmy got you a 10-point lead twice.
Well, let me tell you why they did lose. They did lose. I'm going to say this. They did lose the Super Bowl because of their quarterbacks. Because of all three of them. None of them could stay healthy. They lost the Super Bowl because of the quarterback position. Not because it was Purdy's fault. Not because it was Garoppolo. They lost it because of the position.
So you can hit Carfax on line 1. He's missed the last 5 games of each of the last 2 seasons.
That doesn't work. Good, so it fit right in here.
Well, I'll give you 3 for that. But come on, Steiny, he ain't even showing the durability.
That doesn't worry me. You haven't had a quarterback who can stay healthy in the entire Kyle Shanahan era.
That's incredible.
And now we're going to talk about a guy who's missed 5 games the last 2 years, in each of the last 2 years. I'm not doing that.
Fandango, by the way, gentlemen, is on Urban Dictionary. It means to move or make adjustments in order to reach a specific goal. So Guru is right.
But hold on a minute.
Thanks, but
hold on a minute.
E40, call 40 water.
So
I used to say
we're just making up words now, and they become official.
It's in the Urban Dictionary, Steiny.
Yeah. Right, but here's the problem with the Urban Dictionary.
It's like for shizzle.
Better stop there.
Easy.
Better stop there.
I think I can say it, though, but hey, go ahead. Right.
Let's drop it. I'm going to drop it.
You never had a girlfriend dangle your feelings?
No, as you know,
I
both
have.
of my parents were English teachers.
Shout out Mary.
So I only subscribe to Merriam-Webster. All right, I don't subscribe to somebody who jotted down some things in the U.
It's the Pentagon. He went and found it.
No, he found it. I'm sure. Yeah, like when you said it's what we say in Union City. At that point, I realized it was what they say in Union City.
We subscribe to Marianne Webster.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
But
I know.
No, now back to Lamar. Are you surprised that nobody seems to be knocking on the door? Well, the Colts this morning, they said they're interested. But, I mean, I don't think he's as good as a lot of people think he is, and that's why I don't think the Niners covered him.
Is he better than any of the 49er quarterbacks on the roster?
I would be doing him the ultimate disrespect.
I think you're selling him short,
yeah,
too.
You know what? But what you just asked, I'm going to give you a yes. But not a yes to where it's over. If we get him, I don't think they view him like that.
Well, I don't understand that because supposedly they're knocking on the door with this team. And here you have Lamar Jackson. I mean, why would he not be able to take you further? If he's former MVP.
So you're just so you don't think I'm asking you a question. Forget this, Lamar. Do you think Trey Lance has the goods, Matthew Steinmetz? If you had to bet right now.
He might. I'm not going to do that. I don't know. But I do like
the Warriors gave up on Wiseman. I don't think the Niners are going to give up on Trey this fast.
Okay. They might not. I think it's fair to ask that or to say that. 888-957-9570 is the number. I'm just kind of wondering why there hasn't been more talk about Lamar Jackson. He's been in the situation in Baltimore. Yesterday, I think it was, we're in the green room, and Goose says, Lamar Jackson asked for a trade. And I said, okay. And then I thought about it more and thought, one of the best quarterbacks in the league is saying he doesn't want to play for the Ravens. And the quarterback position has dominated the conversation in the Bay for the entirety of Kyle Shanahan's tenure. I get it, and I get, here's the other thing. Some cap guys may be saying, you can't, but you can do it in football. You can do it. So, I mean, from a very simple standpoint, you drop Lamar Jackson onto the 49ers, they're better. So why wouldn't you do it? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I just don't. This would be the best opportunity for him because we tried to come up with the receivers he's thrown to. Hollywood Brown, not the best of them, but some. The old joke was, Steiny, that's where receivers go to die in Baltimore because the whole thing was predicated on Lamar running all the time.
Well, wide receivers can now go to die in Baltimore because you're going to trade Trey Lance there.
Mm-hmm. Without knowing what he is. I think we're going to find out. And what did you make of Lynch's comments yesterday? I think he said, rightfully so, Brock, when healthy, that's the big if. But if I'm Trey, I'm like, you know what? My goal and number one focus is if somehow there's a delay and I'm the week one starter, or I'm through 3-4 weeks, I got to show not just my team, I got to show the NFL world I'm dynamic. Why they brought me here more so than what it looked like his first game and a half last year, because that didn't look good at all. Stuff.